Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing really well today. I know y'all feel that fall breeze outside. I am so ready for fall. I just can't wait. So it's morning and I'm getting ready to head to my studio in a little bit to work, but I kind of was thinking about some things this morning and I just wanted to make a few videos and talk about some of the thoughts that I had. So today we're going to be talking about how two things can be true at the same time. So two things can definitely be true at the same time as far as positive and negative to whatever situation in life that you are going through. But I want you guys to think about the fact that you are what gives anything meaning. And meaning that is you are what gives a situation power, regardless of whatever perspective you want to spend on it. You are what gives that perspective life, and you are what gives it its relevancy or its truthfulness. So I want you guys to think that, okay, this is kind of piggybacking off of what we've been talking about in my last few videos, about building self-trust mainly, and when it comes to getting over or moving on in certain situations in our life, sometimes we get stuck because we consider the idea of what they have projected onto us from their worldview. So let's talk a little bit about worldviews and the way that you see life and situations through certain lenses in your life. And the lens is created from, of course, shame that has been placed on us, or just the limiting beliefs that we have accumulated over time. But the thing is, you are what gives the situation the meaning that you place on it. And the thing with worldviews is not everybody has the same worldview. And I think when we go through certain things that we perceive as traumatic or just a lot to deal with in general, we tend to think that everybody feels and thinks the same way as us. And in a way, that should tell you how much control you have over the center of your life and the thoughts you choose to project out into the world. So with that being said, you have the choice to give a situation, especially a situation that is less favorable to you, a meaning that you would like to place on it for its relevancy, for you to use that to move on in your life. So for example, say that you are breaking up with your partner. So I could use this situation, a personal situation of my own. So I was seeing a guy one time and we were just kind of getting on to different pages in our lives with where we're going, and we were no longer aligned. So I decided that it was probably best for us to sever ties, and a whole lot of drama came behind it, of course, as when you're young and your relationships tend to be a little bit more toxic because you're both finding your way. But the thing with it was, I told myself that regardless of whatever happened, because he saw the situation being one way and I saw the situation being another way, which I come to realize that both were absolutely true. It was true for him, for his worldview, because he thought and went about things a certain way from his perception and his beliefs that he has accumulated over time, and the same with me, that I thought and felt certain ways because of the assumptions and the beliefs that I have had. And they both make the situations true for the way that we look at the world for our lives, right? So in order, I did kind of fall into a way of where I was believing his way and making it to be true, but that was not at the core how I really felt. The way I felt was I was leaving the situation to better myself, to better my life, to get on the right path that I needed to get on for myself. And so I just told myself that is what I need to think of. It doesn't matter what transpired between us that made us both him project onto me that I was a bad person, and it wasn't what I was thinking for him, that, you know, maybe it's true that maybe I might be the bad person, or maybe I might be the reason why we are no longer working because I don't want to work it out. No, like I don't have to accept his reality and his version of whatever happened. I'm going to accept mine. So you are what gives anything in your life meaning. If a situation is still living and you keep being taken aback by a certain situation where you can't seem to move on from it, it's maybe because you believe certain things about that situation that may or may not be true, but you are making it true, even though deep down you may not necessarily feel that way, you guys. So my thought process is you need to tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to get on with your life, to conform to whatever your worldview is, so that way you can move forward in your life. And some people might say that this is maybe toxic or whatever, but when you think about it, everyone is somewhat a little bit delusional about the things in their life and the things that they want. And just, you have to remember, not everyone has the same morals and values and look at things the same way that you do, and that is 100% fine. But sometimes, especially if you are going through a bad breakup, and I'll just use this in general, tend to use relationships a lot because I find that is something that we all can kind of relate to. So say you're going through a rough breakup in a relationship and you keep replaying a situation over and over and over in your mind and you can't seem to get past it. This is what I'm talking about. The situations that you cannot get past in your life. So you need to tell yourself whatever it is to move on, so you can use that energy to alchemize the situation and to use it to fill you to get over whatever it is, or to come to an understanding of yourself, come to an understanding of the situation. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. So you could tell yourself, okay, this happened because I needed it to realize what I really wanted in a relationship. No matter how rough the relationship was, if you take it off of projecting it in a way that where you internalize it and turn it around to something more fruitful for yourself, then you'll see that you can accept that a little more. Doesn't mean that it always has to be true, but it needs to feel truthful to you. And in their eyes, it may not feel like the correct thing, but it's okay because they have their own certain lens and you have yours, and you only need to focus on yours. Because guys, there is no one that you need to change but yourself. There is no one that you need to convince but yourself. People respond to you through life in the way that if you are showing up for yourself in a way that you genuinely believe it and your energy shows it, people have no choice but to just be like, okay, that's just what it is. It's when we get into that proving mode of trying to make people see our way and see the things that when they've already decided in their mind that this is what they're going to believe. Like, no, you can't do that. So you can place the meaning on whatever it is in your life to get you to where you need to be. Now, of course, there are certain situations where you're going to work it out. You're going to talk about it. And maybe you could just say like, okay, maybe this specific relationship didn't work out, but maybe in this one, I learned that I need to communicate better and I need to be with someone who makes me feel safe enough to communicate with them. So you could turn it into a way of empowering you and your choices in your life and building that self-trust to understand that I'm going to honor my choices. I'm going to honor the things that I desire. I'm going to honor what I know I need for myself, regardless of if this person didn't want to give it to me, that's fine. I give it to myself, and in return, I attract someone in the future who is going to be able to give that to me. And this can work for multiple facet of things in life. You could say that your job is doing this to you or whatever, just because you learned that you may need to assert yourself a little more. You can take it in a way to empower you, you guys. It doesn't have to be a negative thing all the time. It doesn't have to be truthful for them. It's truthful for you, you guys. So that's all I'm saying, you guys. You are what gives anything meaning, a situation meaning. You can place the meaning for yourself for what you need to get yourself to where you need to be, because there is no a right or wrong way, you guys. I want us to really get into the habit of thinking like we have to make decisions that we can live with. It's not always about what everyone else thinks, guys. Sometimes we have to get into a space where we have to start thinking like, okay, I have to make certain decisions for myself, regardless of what other people think, because sometimes a lot of us, we come from that people pleasing and that shame being placed on us to where it makes it hard for us to trust ourselves. So this is about developing self-trust. This is about standing on firm for what you feel for that aligns with your morals, your values, your internal compass, and where you are headed in your life to be able to reach your goals, your dreams, your manifestations, your new identity, whoever you want to become. Of course, we have to learn to trust our decisions, you guys. So at the end of it, that's all that it is. So I hope this video kind of gives you a little something to think about, and I hope that you have a great day wherever you are. Bye.